I started nursing school in 2021, I believe. I would rather much so work, make my money, get real cute, go out, have fun, enjoy life. Like, I don't have time for anatomy and physiology right now. That was my mindset. And I really had to sit with myself like, okay, this is not where I see myself at. I'm telling you, your mindset is everything. So he was basically like mentally preparing me to be able to be successful in these science classes that I constantly kept dropping. Like the way my creative mind flows, like I just be thinking about designs all the time. And so failed the first semester, got very discouraged. For me, it was God telling me like, your business was not successful for one, because I needed you to go through this process first. I needed you to go through nursing school. I needed you to go through motherhood. I needed you to go through all of this stuff. Your visions are just way too big for the resources and the finances that you currently have. So lately, have you been trusting God's vision or have you been trusting your own? So, all right, y'all, it's the top of the new year, 2024 to be exact. Me, myself personally, I had a heck of a 2023, and I just wanted to dive a little more into it and just really talk to y'all about what it means to trust in God's plan versus what it means to trust in your own. So, you know, every time the top of the year comes, we have these big grand ideas in regards to how we want our year to flow, right? A little backstory about me. Actually, this is my first YouTube video. I've been wanting to start a YouTube video for a long time. I have to go back and see like how long it was when I first started it. But anywho, my name is Lala and welcome to my YouTube video. And if y'all hear some kids in the back, that's because they are. I have a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old that drives me low. And the top of the new year, like I was just talking about, we have all these big grand ideas. I wanted to start this YouTube channel, start producing content, and it was always like a battle of, oh my God, the kids in the background, they're making too much noise. I don't have time. I gotta do this, that, and the third. So no excuses. I'm here sitting in this chair, making a video with my kids outside the door. And you're probably going to be hearing all kind of noises throughout this video, so just a heads up. But I'm just giving you the real and the raw in regards to how it is to create content. But let's get back into the topic. So, I started nursing school in 2021, I believe. This is part of my introduction. I just graduated this past December. My registered nursing program, so yay to me. But these last 2 years have been quite a journey. So let's rewind before 2021. I am a fashion brand owner. I actually have my own storefront. We opened it in 2000. Ooh, that's crazy. I think it was like 2014. I really got to go back and look. 2014, I had my own storefront and I just went all in. One day I was just really just sitting and I was just thinking like, dang, I really want to start my own business. And I'll create a whole nother video in regards to why I started the business and my business journey. We're going to be documenting all of that throughout this series or throughout my YouTube video. But anyway, so I started this brand. And it was rough. Like, I didn't know what the heck I was doing. Okay, 2014, that was like in the mix of like social media, probably before then. And I didn't really know what I was doing. Like, I didn't know how to navigate through creating a business or maintaining a business, I should say. Nothing about posting on Instagram, a strategy for Instagram, marketing, influencers, none of that was going on back then for me. It was just like, okay, I got this business, now what? So like a year later, we only stayed there for a year because a brick and mortar store is very hard. Like, it's so many things you even have to think about prior to opening up the storefront. And yeah, so it just didn't work out. I continued my business online, being an online boutique. And like I said, this was around the time that everybody and their mama was starting an online boutique, which was fine. So how can I say this? This nursing journey for me actually started way before then. Like, I had always enrolled myself into like the prereqs, which was what? Anatomy, physiology, microchemistry. Like, I would always enroll myself into those classes, and then I would always end up dropping them. Because in my mind, I just mentally was not there. Like, mentally, I was just like, anatomy and physiology, like, science has always been my weakest area for one. It was very hard trying to figure it out. I had such a hard time looking at all those figures and those body parts and the muscles and this, that, and the third. I was like, I ain't got time for this. So I just started dropping them classes every time. I think I probably enrolled into anatomy and physiology like 3 or 4 times, and every time I would drop it because it was just like, no, I'm not doing this right now. I would rather much so work, make my money, get real cute, go out, have fun, enjoy life. Like, I don't have time for anatomy and physiology right now. That was my mindset. So that was then, and I got pregnant with my daughter, my first daughter, my 3-year-old. And then it was just kind of like, okay, La, you've been having a job where I worked in the restaurant industry for over 10 years. And a lot of people say real stagnant in those type of jobs because it's quick money. Like, you get your money and you go. And it's decent money, I would say, on top of that. And especially for me, in my case, I didn't have any kids or anything. Still lived at home, but was doing it up. So I got pregnant with my 3-year-old. And I really had to sit with myself like, okay, this is not where I see myself at while I'm pregnant. You see what I'm talking about? Okay, so I needed a career. I'm like, I don't want to be in the restaurant industry. I don't want to be serving tables. Like, I'm getting a little old and I'm about to have a whole daughter. I need to have a career and just have like a precise plan and a vision of really where I wanted to go. So once again, I enrolled in the prereqs for nursing school. And this time it was different. Like, I'm telling you, your mindset is everything. Like, you literally have to, and that's why I think that, well, I know that God, he does things so precisely. We know that, right? Because he knows our whole plan from before we even come out of that womb. So he was basically like mentally preparing me to be able to be successful in these science classes that I constantly kept dropping. And so when I got pregnant with her, I had a whole different mindset. And they always say that, right? Like, the kids will change your life, and they literally changed my life. I enrolled in these classes very much so pregnant. And as I was like going down my timeline, because I'm very like, once I set a plan to do something, like, I literally plan it out, like map it out in regards to my timing. So I think, so I needed a year worth of prereqs to even apply to the nursing program. So I did that, and I had to make sure that I was going to be able to finish my classes because obviously, like I said, I was pregnant. So I didn't want to be like in the middle of like having labor or something and I got a midterm due or a final due. So I precisely planned my way so that I could be successful in the classes that I needed to start applying to nursing school. Right? All right. Fast forward. So done with prereqs, applied to nursing school. I applied to, I think, 5 different schools. And everybody was telling me like, yeah, nursing school is very competitive. It's hard to get in. You got to apply to all these schools. And then everybody has different waiting processes and so on and so on and so on. So I did what I had to do. Made sure all my prereqs were completed. My grades are very good. So my first round of letters that I went out, I ended up getting into, I ain't gonna say school here. I ended up getting accepted into a nursing program. So I was like, cool, on my first round, like, of applying, because like I said, I heard stories all the time where it was like, yeah, I applied and I didn't get in. So I had to wait for the next semester or wait for the next enrollment period and reapply. So I was very excited. Being able to get into a nursing program for my first time was so bomb to me. So fast forward, I had to put my business on hold, like completely on hold. I would still try to buy items here and there, and that was another thing too. I was having a hard time like really finding the pieces that I wanted to find in the wholesale district. Like the way my creative mind flows, like I just be thinking about designs all the time. And so I was like fighting with that. I'm like, I really don't want to do wholesale. I really want to go into designing, but I know it takes a lot more work with the design process. So I would just stick to wholesale because that was the easiest thing to do, but that wasn't necessarily what I wanted to do. So I put that on hold, put my business on hold. I really focused on these kids. That's a different video for a different day. Having children back to back is rough, okay? We'll discuss that later. So focusing on the kids, focusing on school. My first semester, failed it. Failed my first semester of nursing school. You don't understand, like for a person like me, like I said, I'm usually very good in school. I ain't never failed a class unless I just like stopped going. And that was like in my later college days. But yeah, failed my first semester of nursing school. Like I was, trauma, I should say. Because it was a lot on my plate at one time, like trying to balance motherhood, trying to be a better girlfriend, trying to still be a daughter, a sister, a friend. It was just a lot on my plate at one time. And nursing school ain't no joke. Like I done had anxiety. I ain't never had anxiety prior to nursing school. My anxiety was through the roof, having panic attacks, like just, it was crazy. So failed the first semester, got very, 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 discouraged. But I couldn't stop. It was like something in me, like I didn't make it this far. Like everything have not been flowing like this effortlessly for me for no reason. Like I have to keep going. So I kept going past the first semester again and all the other semesters after that, right? So now I just finished, like I said, just finished the whole program, about to start studying for boards and all that good stuff. But the messaging, like all throughout this journey for me, it was just literally God's timing and his plan for your life. And I had, I had an epiphany one day, and it was just like, for me, it was God telling me like, your business was not successful for one, because I needed you to go through this process first. I needed you to go through nursing school. I needed you to go through motherhood. I needed you to go through all of this stuff. And it was just like he kept putting it on me, like one thing after another, after another, after another. And in my mind, like, yeah, of course, nursing. I really love nursing, by the way. Really love it. Everybody knows you make really good money being a nurse. It's like unlimited potential to make really good income. So for me, it was just like, of course I want to be great at whatever it is that I put my effort into, period. Like I want to be a great nurse, but also in my mind, God was telling me like, your visions are just way too big for the resources and the finances that you currently have. That was my thought. Not even my thought. I literally heard that, like heard it. So I'm like, whoo. I'm like, okay, God, I hear you, because it was true. Like my timing just was not there for my business, and everything that I wanted to do, I had to put aside, because it's just like I wasn't working hard enough in my business to create this income that would eventually, you know, support my business and all the big grand ideas that I had. And y'all know, I don't know if y'all know, but going into production and creating your own custom pieces is not cheap. Like, it's expensive to get the ball rolling in like your own designs. So once I heard that, I was just like, okay, God, like, I hear you clear as day. And not to say that like my business will never be successful, but if it never becomes successful, it's like I always have something to fall back on. Literally, like, I have a career now that can help me with my business. And then, like I said, if I decide not to have a business anymore, which I doubt it, like, because I haven't even had a chance to put my all into it yet to even know if it'll work. Which I'm not gonna say if. Actually, you know what? It's gonna work, because I ain't waited too long. 2014 is 2024. That's 10 years. I've been going back and forth with this business for 10 years. And when I tell you, I have learned so much about business and about marketing and just everything to create a successful business. The only thing that I lacked was the time and the finances. So I'm good. I feel like I'm really good. And so I just really wanted to, I guess, spread the message. Yeah, like I said, it's the top of the year. It's so cliche to like have these visions and do vision board parties and just have more faith about what's going to happen and just be so determined and so enthused. Like, all of that happens at the top of the year for everybody, I feel like. But I had wrote a post yesterday on Instagram, and I was like, the biggest downfall for people at the top of the year when they start creating these big grand ideas and try to just be on top of their stuff is that they don't take the time to pivot and to follow where it went wrong and where it went successful. It's just like you just be in go mode, like, all right, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do this, do that, and then like you just fall off because it's like you're not following up with your plans for your life. And my biggest thing, although I am creating this YouTube video right now at the top of the year, I did work out yesterday at the top of the year, but this year I'm really trying to like hold myself accountable for God's plan and his visions for my life. And I honestly feel like this is about to be the best year in business ever after 10 years. Like, I had to go through those transitions and those periods and just being humbling. Like, humble yourself. That's a big thing too. Like, it be taking so much to humble yourself. I done lost so much, like, just putting everything to the side and just, I don't be getting cute no more. Like, you know, I don't go out no more. And that's the reason why I wanted to come on camera and look like this too. Like, I don't have no makeup on. This is my first video. In my mind, I was like, yep, I'm about to get dolled up. I'm about to look super cute on camera and da-da-da-da-da and da-da-da-da-da. And then I was like, I'm about to give them the rawest version of me, because 9 times out of 10 when I come on this camera, I'm gonna be looking like this. Like, I don't want to start the new year all glammed up and then a month or two later y'all see me look like this and be like, well, goddamn, like, what, you know? I don't want to do that. So mind you, I'm gonna have many different videos. I'm so excited about this YouTube journey. Like, I be needing people to talk to. Y'all's my peoples. Y'all's my peoples now. So we're going to dig into motherhood. We're going to dig into faith. We're going to dig into business. I have so many different realms that I want to go into with this channel. Like, I feel like we can learn a lot from women in general, just learning about love and life and, like I said, faith and being a mom, sharing recipes, because these kids, all they want to eat is junk food, and I just be struggling. And I know it's some moms out there that can relate. I got 2 daughters with full heads of hair on top of my head of hair, and you know, it just be a tough time. It'd be a tough time trying to figure out this motherhood thing, on top of trying to figure out business, on top of trying to figure out relationships, on top of it all. And I just really want this to be a community to where, like, I just learn from everybody. Like, just make it a loving environment. But for this video, I just want to leave y'all with just have faith and have trust in God. Like, I'm a big believer in God, and I literally feel like I know that he aligns your steps perfectly. Like, he's perfect. So if you just trust in him and just follow his path, and whatever it is that you're hearing from him that you need to do, just follow it, trust it. Because for one, he don't put nothing on your heart. I honestly believe this. He doesn't put anything on your heart that he will not make come to fruition. It just might not be right now. And you have to be okay with that. But in the now, follow his plans. And honey, it's gonna unfold for you. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I was so nervous and I was talking myself out of it, but we're gonna have plenty more videos coming, hopefully. Y'all hold me to that. Yeah, and that's it. Bye, y'all.